Hey guys, what's happening? Zara here. Um, Obviously, there was a great response to the confidence interval on the last album, so I just thought that I'd do the same thing again, but this time, obviously, try and put my face in it. It's a little bit weird doing this, like looking at myself, recording and whatnot, but yeah, so that confidence interval, what I did was play some guitar, put a beat over it on my producing software, and then just kind of exported it. But I'm gonna try and do it live this time. My really good friend Keith, shout out Keith, and Auna as well, bought me this incredible loop pedal. So I'm gonna see if I can make a little backing track, and then we can get into a discussion for a little bit. So here goes. Tried to add a bass line, didn't work at all. We'll just leave it as this. This is pretty sick. Yeah, mint. So I guess we can have a discussion now. I was trying to think about the topic and what to talk about. I hope that's not too loud too, but yeah, I was thinking about relationships and just the struggle with relationships nowadays. I think the culture that I come from, relationships are everything. Everything. You know, strangers, the relationship with strangers is just as important as with your best friend or ever, you know? And that's so different in this culture where like you really have to get to know someone before you can call yourself friends. You know, you'll do some hectic stuff, man. You'll work with people for 3-4 years. You'll see them every day at school, and you still aren't even that tight as friends. You know what I mean? Everyone is really, really guarded, and it sucks. It's so hard to establish good relationships and good connections with people. I think people are just scared. Like that's the main thing. Don't get me wrong, it is scary, and I think people have just been hurt in the past by being too open and being too friendly. And I guess you got to ask yourself: is the issue friendship, or is the issue like the type of people that you're wanting to be friends with? Because I think being vulnerable and being open and doing all that isn't the issue. That's not the issue. It's just the people that you do that with, and being more selective in that process. And it's crazy. Like I've lost so many people in terms of what traditional friendship looks like, in terms of talking all the time, in terms of going out and partying and having fun. Like I don't really have friends to do that with anymore, and that's fine because I don't do that stuff anymore. And that's not to say that I'm better than anyone or like this is a virtuous thing, but it's interesting. You take away that factor of drinking or going out and you see, do you actually have any substance with these people? Are you just having a good time? You know what I mean? Can you actually call on these people? Can you rely on them? Can you say, yo, I'm struggling, like help me out? Or is it just let's get smashed, let's get high, let's get drunk, let's, you know? And I feel like at that point it's just, I want someone else so I don't feel guilty for like doing the wrong thing, you know what I mean? I feel like life isn't meant to be lived for enjoyment. Well, like it is, hold on, let me rephrase that. It is, but not for like selfish enjoyment. It's not, well, let me just feel good. yourself in the best way possible. I think it's about feeling good, but by doing that through pleasing others and helping other people. That's the best high there ever is in this world, is helping someone. And honestly, like receiving help as well, I think that's important too. It's not just about going around saying, I can help you, I can fix you, I can do all this stuff, but having the humility to be like, yeah, help me, help me. And there's joy that comes in that. Probably not in the moment, but afterwards, like when you do receive that help, you're just like, wow, what a great person. And life just makes a bit more sense when you get that help, you know. And that's another issue with everyone being guarded, is everyone wants to do everything by themselves. I don't need no man, I don't need no woman. Like dating our age, my age, sucks. Sucks, man. Like everyone just plays games. It's just games. Like let's, you know, I'll dip my toes in, let's have a bit of fun, let's do everything that a relationship is about, but let's not put any labels on it. What is the point? Why are we wasting time? Why are we wasting time? I don't know, I think the idea of marriage scares a lot of people now, which is pretty sad. It is really sad, because I think that's the whole purpose of being in a relationship. That's the whole purpose of dating, in my opinion, is like, why would you spend 2-3 years with someone, live together, buy a dog, buy a house, do all this stuff, and then just after 3 years say peace and go your own separate ways and never talk again? What a waste of 3 years. What a waste of 3 years. That's my honest opinion. Yeah, sure, you grow a lot as a person and whatnot, but it's not like you couldn't have done that growth without that person, you know what I mean? Like, what? Yeah, I don't know, it baffles my mind. It's just frustrating as well. You try and, you know, put yourself out there and be like, look, these are my intentions, this is what I want to take this further, I want to be with you for 40, 50 years plus. Like I want that 1920s love, you know what I mean? Let's go on dates. I don't want to be seen, I don't want to be needy as well. I don't want to come across like, okay, well I can fix you, or any of that nice guy, white knife stuff, you know, that's just hiding down insecurities deep down. I genuinely just want to build a life with someone. I genuinely want to go that full way, have grandkids and kids and do all that fun stuff, bro. That's like where real meaning and purpose comes from, I believe. And it's hard, it's not easy, bro. Especially when you got kids, you gotta go to work, you gotta think about another life, you gotta think about your wife. Like it's stressful. It's stressful stuff, but I think that's where like true joy comes. And it comes back to what I was saying before about like giving of yourself to others. That selflessness and the feeling and the good feeling that comes from that. Unbeatable, but no one wants that now, especially ladies, man. Like, I don't know what it is like from that end, because I'm a guy, so obviously I'll give you my perspective on what it seems like for ladies, but I assume it's the same thing on the lady side of things. But no girl wants to settle down. Every girl wants to be like a career woman and like settle down when they're 35, and don't get me wrong, like you do you, but at the same time, all I sense is selfishness from that. Like, what are you hoping to achieve in 10, 15 years that starting a family and you know, taking that, like, I guess, selfless route, like, what are you missing out on? I don't understand. I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, I want my own life, I want to do my own thing, I want to travel, I don't want that responsibility for a while. But I just see people in their, especially women, like in their 30s in the workplace, and they're just mad unhappy, mad unfulfilled. And that's not to say it's not the same with guys as well. I think I see some guys as well in their 30s that look mad unfulfilled at work. I think family is where that real joy comes from. And I know there's a lot of broken homes out there, there's a lot of tough families. So I don't blame anyone, or I'm not angry or anything. It's just, it really just disheartens me. It's sad. It's like, okay, well, the pool of people who want what I want and are trying to build what I'm trying to build is so minuscule. But the thing is, I think a lot of people do want that. They're just scared. As it comes back to that fear again of like, okay, well, what if we get it wrong? What if this happens? What if that happens? And if you're gonna focus on the negatives in your life, you're going nowhere. Because there's negatives around everything, around every corner. No matter what you do, there's gonna be a negative that you're gonna face. And it just depends, like, which voice do you listen to? Do you listen to that negative voice that says, nah, this isn't gonna work? Or do you listen to that positive voice that says, yeah, look, it could be difficult, but no matter what, we're gonna make it work? It's just all attitude, you know what I mean? It's all attitude. Like, I really dislike when people get into a relationship and they're like, oh, we'll see where it goes. What is the point? What is the point? Yet again, why? I don't, and that's not to say you got to jump in and the first person that you see, alright, we're in this for the long haul, you know what I mean? Obviously there's like that feeling out, courting, dating period, and you vet each other and you see, is this compatible? But like once you come to that decision, run with it, like go for it, you know, what are you waiting for? Straight up, what are you waiting for? But yeah, man, relationships, interesting, very interesting topic. Beautiful though, beautiful. Honestly, like I think just having someone else to do life with is just so special. When hanging out with someone lately, and she's pretty cool, man. She's pretty cool. Just makes you feel like, oh wow, like life is better with someone. You know what I mean? Like two is better than one. Yeah, you just find yourself thinking throughout the day, like just smiling, just being like, oh dang. And that's such a like. It helps so much when you're at work or when you're doing something that's pretty monotonous that you don't want to do. Just that little bit of confidence, well not even confidence, just positivity, just that boost of like, dang, nice. I don't know, it just keeps you going, and I think that's why I'm reading like a lot of books at the moment, and a lot of them are by men, and it's interesting like when they go to the acknowledgements, most of the time, always last is their wives, but they pour like the most accolade for their wives. I just think it's beautiful. And they'll say all the people with the producers, the editors and whatnot, and then at the end it's like, and lastly, like my wife, my world, thank you. And it just shows the impact of relationships, you know. Yeah, it's sad that we don't care about them as much, or we just treat them very nonchalantly. But yeah, that's my rant on relationships. That took a long time, man. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Like sincerely, I hope 2022 is going to be a great year for all of you. Achieve some big goals, but even if you don't achieve much, like you just have a year of internal peace, you know what I mean? Not so much turmoil going on, thinking where should I go, what should I do? Just clarity for a lot of things, just clarity. Just relax, take it easy. The last 2 years have been hectic. Corona's been wild, man. Corona's been wild, but it's such a blessing. Which, again, it comes back to that attitude. How do you see it? Do you see it as like the worst thing in the world or a blessing? And honestly, I see it as the biggest blessing in the world. I think it's made a lot of people rethink about life and what's important and what's not. And even isolation, like I think is beautiful. I think we all need to spend a lot more time just by ourselves, to be honest. Get rid of all this technology. I don't need to see what 150 people are doing today. Like I don't need that. I don't need that. Like what can I do today for the people around me, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the rant. I just wanted to conclude by saying thank you so much for listening to Swell, if you have listened to it. The feedback I've been getting for it is I'm trying to think of the word. I don't want to say phenomenal. I've been saying phenomenal way too much, but spectacular. The feedback has been spectacular, and I'm truly grateful. I truly am. You know, all those experiences have happened. So every single song is about an experience that it's like my journal. And if you can relate to that in any way, or if you can appreciate it, it just means a lot. It really does. And the fact that, you know, I'm blessed with the technology and I guess the ability to do what I do, like that's all from God again, so thank God. And